Da, 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 da. Okay, let's see what we have for audio. Okay, that's good there. Let's go back to X. Da, 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 da.
Answers to any of those questions. And so with that, I would put on notice the following motion that having regard for the fact that the Prime Minister met with several business as well as investment leaders in his recent trips to New York City, New York, and London, England, and the Prime Minister has refused to disclose which individuals and or entities he met
Test
with
1, 2,
during
3.
those trips, and is subject pursuant to the Conflict
Yeah, that's
of
a little bit
Interest
louder.
Act,
The other,
an ethics screen intended
maybe I
to
gotta
prevent
go over
him
here and
from making decisions related to 103 companies that would place him in a conflict of interest. The committee ordered from the Prime Minister's office production
Test
of
1, 2, 3.
records which comprehensively list each individual and, if applicable, the name of which entity.
Go there and take this off. Go back here. VA3KBC.
Radio versus Porsche. She tries to get a little sexy in that video.
Yeah, I see it. I'll have to watch it.
Okay, we're good there. Get rid of that.
What's going on, DJ?
I'm just setting up for a live stream here. So a couple of guys I talked to on 40 meters, they don't have X. They haven't seen X or been on X. So I just thought, this would be a good way for them to see what X is about without them having to load the app and then try to navigate and everything. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just getting things set up here to because I can bring up the web browser. I have X as an app on here, so that's what I'm in the process of doing.
Yeah, there you go. I could hear you guys. I could hear you guys from the other room, the other side of the room there. I had to close out for the night, but yeah, I thought I'd get in here and say hello. Victor Alpha 3KBC DJ and Anan. This is Whiskey United 3 Whiskey, and that was me sending code there all jacked up. I can't sometimes I can't even do my own code sometimes, or my own calls at times. But you're a little weak tonight. Are you? Let me see here if I've got. Well, I didn't even run any pre-checks or anything. So, but everything looks okay. And running just a touch over a kilowatt tonight. And let's see, nothing else has changed, man. Haven't done anything with the antenna or anything else. Everything's pretty much the same as the other night. So over to you, DJ Victor Alpha 3KBC. This is Whiskey United 3 Whiskey, Baltimore.
Yeah, Joe, I think it's just the band. You were S9. You did peak 5 over, but remember the other night you were 20 over, and I was 20 over to you. So I think it's from that solar flare, multiple solar flares, and I think one is supposed to be quite harmful. So we were talking about putting on our tinfoil hats, and I said, well, those idiots that wear masks, they can just take their mask off their face and put it on top of their heads, and that'll protect them. So anyhow, let me continue on here, Joe. I think Steve was in there earlier on. He's taking a break, so I want to get. I'm going to probably mute 160 here, 1895. I'm going to mute it, and then bring up the web browser with X on and start going through some of the stuff there. So, anyhow, I'll be back, or you can watch it yourself if you want. There's how to get my YouTube channel.
Yeah, roger that. Yep. In fact, I already got I got you. Yep, I got you on the laptop tonight. I actually have a battery charged, and we're doing pretty good at the moment there. I could hear Bob QJ in there earlier, and I guess the other gentleman was Steve. Excuse me. And okay, good stuff. And yeah, I'm trying to pull up information on the sun propagation and the terrestrial data. And yeah, looks like a K index of 4, and I don't know here. I wish they would tell us when there was an issue. I mean, I know you can find it on this page, so I'll look through it. But all right, there, DJ, go ahead, do what you got to do. I got you on YouTube. I got you up on the laptop over here, and we'll talk in a little bit. WU3W over.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah, I'll just mute this, and then I'll take myself off the screen as well. And I don't know how long I'm going to be on X. I just want to go through some of the stuff that I see, so they can see what, because they don't want to go on social media. They think that it could cause some problems. It's not like Facebook. Facebook's got a lot of censorship and stuff like that. X has community checks. If you post something that's inaccurate, it'll get corrected. So anyhow, good enough. I'll talk to you a little bit later, Joe. VA3KBC. Okay, let me. I have a bunch of bookmarks here, and we'll start with Dr. Simone Gold.
The wrong thing in a case like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear. Cancel culture to a doctor means
doctors
it could possibly
were bullied
lose their
into
license,
silence
which is their
during
livelihood.
COVID.
The fundamental
85% of
problem
doctors are
is
now
that doctors are
employees,
now all
financially tied to
overwhelmingly
big pharma
employees. 85 to 90% of
insurance.
doctors are employees. In my dad's time, it was the reverse. Maybe 5 or 10% of doctors were employees. So like other American employees, they followed their paycheck. So it's quite difficult as a doctor to even pay the rent on your office unless you're getting other sources of money. And that comes from big pharma and it comes from insurance contracts. So quite frankly, they were financially squeezed. There were also many doctors that were threatened by their state medical boards. I was one of them. Frontline Doctors talks about that a lot. The fact that the state medical boards threatened to go after doctors' licenses was a very big problem. I don't know if you know, I fought California Medical Board for 3 years and I won because they were literally trying to take away doctors' licenses for being good doctors.
How do they get good doctors to do the wrong thing in a case like this?
Yeah, there's a lot of fear. Cancel culture to a doctor means they could possibly lose their license, which is their livelihood. The fundamental problem is that doctors are now all overwhelmingly employees. 85 to 90% of doctors are employees. In my dad's time, it was the reverse. Maybe 5 or 10% of doctors were employees. So like other American employees, they followed their paycheck. So it's quite difficult as a doctor to even pay the rent on your office unless you're getting other sources of money. And that comes from big pharma and it comes from insurance contracts. So quite frankly, they were financially squeezed. There were also many doctors that were threatened by their state medical boards. I was one of them. Frontline Doctors talks about that a lot. The fact that the state medical boards threatened to go after doctors' licenses was a very big problem. I don't know if you know, I fought California Medical Board for 3 years and I won because they were literally trying to take away doctors' licenses for being good doctors.
How do they get good doctors to do the wrong thing in a case like this?
Okay, so that's Dr. Simone Gold. What do we have here? Yeah, we know about this. The Libs spent at the very least $4.5 million for pride events in the last 2 years, but for some reason buying extra wreaths to honor the men and women who fought and died for us is just too much to ask. Yeah, crazy. So this is some of the stuff. So in Vancouver, over 2,500 new condos are sitting empty in Vancouver. I guess charging $800,000 for 700 square feet is finally caught up to them.
offering all the bells and whistles to try to sell them.
They're throwing in parking stalls, they're throwing in storage lockers, they're giving cash back on completion.
According to the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, there are about 2,500 completed, unabsorbed units sitting empty in Metro Vancouver, double the amount from a year ago. But that could be just the tip of the iceberg because many don't get listed, creating what's known as a shadow inventory.
And it's hard to tell exactly in, let's say, a 200-unit building, how many units are still available. Is it 50? Is it 100? Is it 150?
Some developers are now giving deposits back to buyers because they're not meeting pre-sale targets to secure bank financing for new projects.
There's also some developers that have actually gone into receivership because they had sold or tried to develop as the prices were escalating.
So what looked like a sure win on a spreadsheet turned sour as time ticked on. The industry says it's becoming more expensive to build due to higher construction costs, fees, and government taxes. Affordability, another major factor, with buyers wanting more for their money, and what's on the market isn't meeting expectations.
35% of all transactions are under $800,000. And let's be honest with ourselves. We're not talking that everybody who's spending that wants a 500 square foot condo or 450 square foot condo.
There are predictions of mass layoffs and a wider economic storm ahead.
I think the next 12 to 18 months are going to be very scary. I hope I'm wrong.
As the development market struggles, not every storyline is the same. Sales in the condo resale market are only down by about 5% year over year. Realtors say it's a buyer's market and there are deals to be had.
I think follow Adam Carolla. And then let's see here.
Canada, let me just say this. There will be no reconciliation until we have truth. On National Truth and Reconciliation Day in Canada, let me just say this. There will be no reconciliation until we have truth. The truth is, all these mass graves you heard about from the residential schools that the mainstream media has been yelling about for years and years, every time they investigate one, they have found 0 graves. A couple more truths for you. Over 100 Christian churches have been burnt down in Canada since they started this hoax. Did you hear about that on the mainstream media? Probably not. And one final truth for you. Your Prime Minister's dad was the head of a residential school. On National Truth and Reconciliation.
Yeah, so Tom Marazzo, I should say. Let me break this down clearly so you can better understand why these mandated land acknowledgements are offensive to me. They imply inherited guilt. I'll just scroll down, and anybody wants to see that, they can stop the stream and read it, because there's a lot here, so I'm not going to read everything. But that's it in a very very well explained. And then we go down to here. Everyone can blame Justin Trudeau for the 51st state. He admitted to Trump that Canada would collapse if they stopped supporting us. If Canada cannot exist without United States, then we are already the 51st state and always have been. It's annexation by economic force. And what did John Diefenbaker have to say? I am a Canadian, free to speak without fear, free to worship and own in my own way, free to stand for what I think, free to oppose what I believe wrong, or free to choose those who shall govern my country. This heritage of freedom I pledge to uphold for myself and all mankind. Well, that's not the liberal way now. So, and then we have
our 5-year forecast. The numbers that we released earlier this week indicate that if left unchanged, the fiscal path that the government's currently on will definitely result in us being in quite a bit of trouble and having to make some hard decisions.
Now, in getting here, what do you attribute this to? Is this like Donald Trump's trade?
Let's go down here.
All of those injuries.
So what are they doing this for, money?
Well, they're making $60 billion a year selling us vaccines, but they're making $500 billion a year selling the remedies for the injuries caused by vaccines.
Wow.
So the diabetes medication, the Adderall, the Ritalin, the Concerta, the Advair inhalers, the albuterol inhalers, the anti-seizure medications, all of those, this is a really great business plan for these companies. You make people sick, and then you sell them the lifetime cure. linking various vaccines to all of those injuries.
And then let's get this.
Your opinion.
The best data are autopsies. So in the largest autopsy series published to date, I know because I'm the senior author, of all the deaths we examined, and we re-reviewed them. We had an adjudication committee. We had ways of arbitration deciding on did the vaccine cause death. The answer is, of these cases that came in for autopsy after vaccination, 73.9% of individuals, it was determined that the vaccine was the cause of death. First author is Holscher and colleagues. He's sitting right behind me.
And do you have any science to back up your opinion?
So that's that. And this one here.
Of this DNA is the SV40 promoters. That's about 500 billion SV40 promoters, which are known to go straight to the nucleus. Those are gene therapy tools.
Okay.
So I'd love to see evidence that he has that this does not actually get into the genome, if you will. Let me see. 1/50th of this DNA is the SV40 promoters. That's about.
Okay, that's the same thing over again.
Because I read your articles on a daily basis. You say that Pfizer actually operates like a criminal enterprise. Can you shed more light on that?
So Pfizer, within 3 months of the COVID-19 injection rollout, they performed a post-authorization study to look for any adverse events. And they actually found 1,223 fatal adverse events from their own shots. And this is in their own internal documents. So that was within 3 months. They did absolutely nothing. They didn't alert anybody. They didn't pull off the dangerous, toxic, and deadly products from the market. They just continued on. And in my opinion, that is most definitely a criminal act. They were hiding and refused to act upon these serious safety signals of death. And if we look in the past, if we look back in the 1950s, the polio cutter vaccine, it killed 10 people. This was a polio vaccine that they were basically giving people polio, and they pulled it off the market after only 10 deaths. So there's that. And then we have the swine flu vaccine. That was a few decades later. They pulled that out off the market after 20 to 50 deaths. If you look at the contrast there, there's a massive difference. For some reason, all of a sudden, when they have thousands of deaths, they're doing absolutely nothing. And I would call that criminal.
Just some of the stuff here that we have on X that you won't find anywhere else. So I've got these bookmarked. Oh, this is a good one.
A country's public square with enough
all roads lead back to demonic piece of crap.
You just have to raise enough questions, spread enough dirt, plant enough conspiracy theorizing that citizens no longer know what to believe. Once they lose trust in their leaders, in mainstream media, in political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth, the game's won.
That's the son of a bitch right there that started it all. David Creighton, he's a good one.
Here, so I think we're reaching what we would call a critical mass in media exposure, and people are pushing back because they're saying this is absurd. We've got these people clowning around, it looks like a gong show. They're chasing ostriches with lassos. They don't seem to know what the hell they're doing. They have no knowledge of basic veterinary skills or animal health skills. They have nothing. They just seem to be a bunch of goons.
There's a level of animal cruelty. David, there's a level of animal cruelty here that needs to be addressed. And we're really trying for that right now. I mean, they're not being fed properly. The hay out there, it's not being flipped. The greens aren't being exposed. The hens, they're not getting the proper veterinary care to our knowledge. It's all coming through just emails and communication. They will not
This is to do with the
to work with us and just send a picture or a video. There is a level of animal cruelty with the handling of these animals alone. With that interim stay order, our family should be able to still go and touch them, love them, check on them and their welfare. We have lights on all night. Go on my Facebook page. You should see it is.
Anyhow, that's just part of it. So here we have
the Netflix
Johnson, who we follow
leadership being asked to sort of testify over this radical sexual ideology.
Every time we're on, I always say I'm going to do something that makes news. Here's what I want to do on this one, because the First Amendment and all that.
Again, you don't see this on the mainstream media. You won't see it on ABC, NBC, CTV.
Let's get on it. I'm going to follow up with my folks after we get off, and we'll call them and say which committee can they be brought in front of. Is who I think what we have to look at, who regulates the FCC, and then since it's cable, does that count? I don't know. I don't know enough about it, but yeah, they need to be brought in. We need to find out what their agenda is and why they're pushing this stuff. Because from what I understand, that little cartoon is apparently the #1 rated cartoon they have on their show. I haven't seen it. It looks kind of like claymation or something. I'm not really sure. But,
yeah,
I said something about it, and immediately the left pounded on me and said something about, oh, you're just upset because it's a racial family. And I know some gay folks, and they are getting a little more ticked off about the transgender situation because they're getting lumped in. That's not their fight. I don't think that's their fight. They need to pull off all that garbage, and because they got their win, they got their marriage thing going, and nobody cares. Everybody's looking for a fight, and nobody. I live in East Tennessee, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. And just live your own dadgum life. I always tell people, don't put it in my face, and don't tax me, and that's all I care about.
Right.
But that right there is recruiting. That is grooming. That is the worst of the worst, because they're taking young minds and they know they can do that.
Yeah. Yep. This is, again, with the mass graves, reconciliation and genocide. So that's like say, here's Sam Cooper. He's an investigative journalist in Canada here, and he's uncovered
studies pointing to $312 billion in Chinese network money laundering in 4 years in that country. Canada, of course, a smaller country, but proportionately for the Chinese underground banking networks, which handle all the money laundering for the Mexican cartels. That's happening in Vancouver and Toronto at scale. I estimated strongly through industry sources and various, a FinTrack study, should be over $1 trillion money laundering in the past decade, Vancouver and Toronto. So to your point about the top 10 industry, I think money laundering may be a top 5. We talked about how Mexico, world cartel money, Iranian underground banking, Hamas, Hezbollah, they're all mixed in. The Sri Lankan community, which has some interesting things going on in real estate in Toronto that I haven't even got to. And we're getting hit with the world's underground money, and it's a huge industry.
What's happening with the Sri Lankans and the real estate in Toronto?
I won't name the person, but there was a person very concerned with figures of corruption from his government. He said that he followed my work on Chinese corruption and money laundering and said, you need to go down to Bluffers Park in Scarborough, or there's certain streets where X official, Y official. We talk about our public safety minister and how he may be involved in questionable activities with offshore networks. Maybe there's something to look into there. I haven't got into it yet, but I think that's just another community that has a lot of influence and may be also, from my network diagramming, I noticed that our public safety minister was quite close to the Chinese community networks as well. The crimes that you're seeing, if you're an Ontario resident, not feeling safe in your home anymore, this is not the Canada you're used to. Why did it happen? And I'm saying that absolute flood of transnational crime, the explosion of different gangs that you guys have outlined, the flow, just the incredible. People don't understand the flow of drugs coming in almost exclusively through Indo-Canadian owned trucks, and how they're working with the cartels, the Chinese Communist Party, funding the precursors. This is helping drugs move around the world. They're using Canada, but that's exploding on our streets in the crime and violence, I believe. So that disorder you're seeing, there's an attack factor. The U.S. government believes that, Venezuela, Iran, the Chinese Communist Party wants to see that destabilization. And I think my reporting has shown solidly that's the reality, in addition to just the economic factors and the social factors of being flooded with drugs and violent people. The Canada you grew up with, Pierre Trudeau's Canada, I once believed in the ringing ideals, the melting pot or the tossed salad. And I'm just saying something has gone off the rails. If you're a Canadian, recognize that a war somewhere abroad is going to mean, in our reality, our modern reality, that there are going to be people in Canada interested in the results. They will be working on you as a Canadian, and crime is part of that. I love the Charter of Rights in many ways, but we're not living in Pierre Trudeau's utopian vision anymore. This isn't just about a castle law or people wanting to have a weapon inside their home. Up top, the worst and most dangerous crime networks in the world are taking advantage of our weak laws, to put it simply. At the end of the day, everyone, they only want, their family to be safe and have a good job and some semblance that you're, secure and going in the right direction. And that's off the rails. Anyone at this point that is saying, it's not the Wild West, okay, Justice Minister, yeah, it's feeling like it, and I say it is.
So that's some of the stuff that's on here. Let me just go here. So this is just the home page, and President Putin gives condolences to Charlie Kirk's family, says that his killing was an atrocious crime and that Charlie died for defending traditional values. And Benny Johnson.
Average, left, right, red, blue,
I think we're
communist versus capitalism.
Seen this. Tamara Litch. Canada does not need a hate speech laws. Hate speech is just speech that people hate. It's called the rule of law, not the rule of feelings. David Creighton's really good. He's Canadian. And we're heading to Vice President's residence in Washington tonight to have dinner with J.D. Vance. Keep going here. CFIA. That's again about the ostrich farm. Jesse Waters. What's Jesse got?
Confident, and he has all the leverage because he doesn't need anything. He got everything in the big, beautiful bill. The Democrats need stuff. They want to give stuff away, and they decided to fight this out now, and it's really not the right time. Trump is going to just start doging everything.
I like this here.
Everybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. Don't you?
Now, how is North America's economy doing under Donald Trump and Mark Carney? Well, your economy is 3.6% economic growth, and ours is minus 0.5. We're going downhill, guys. And this is some of the farmers.
Field.
That's canola.
This is canola, for those of you who don't fucking know. And it makes margarine, and you can use it for fuel, for jets, and diesel, and a bunch of other shit. It is a crop that was created in Western Canada Yes, rapeseed was first, but this came second. And farmers have grown it since the 70s, like rapeseed. And we've done very well in the days of the wheat board. This saved our fucking ass when that fucking wheat board was around, because at least we didn't have to wait to get paid. And now we have a federal government that is doing nothing with the Chinese tariffs. They're doing nothing. And guess what? On Tuesday, the American farmer is going to get a subsidy announcement to help out with no sales to China. What is our cocksucking government going to do for us? You want to know the truth? Not a fucking thing. That's how useless fucking Ottawa is. They will piss away $100 and some billion on fairy tale fucking programs, and Western Canadian farmers who have an industry that was fucked by Ottawa will get nothing. So to all the elbows up crowd that voted for these fuckers, fuck you. That's from Western Canada. A big fuck you.
And I'm 100% with them. Yeah, sad to say.
Vote today, quote, to determine which of the many Democratic agencies he recommends to be cut and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. Is this what Republicans voted for when they voted unanimously to confirm Russ' vote at OMB? Is it what voters voted for?
Yeah, well, yes to both. You know, I'm sorry, we have a responsibility as citizens to fully flesh out what a presidential candidate intends to do. Donald Trump told us that he wanted to be a dictator. Donald Trump told us he wanted retribution. Donald Trump lied about not knowing anything about Project 2025, but as he tweets out today, he's fully aware of what it is because it is executing a strategy within his own administration. So, you know, there was a lot of BS and lying about what this wasn't. You certainly, on the weekend, we started talking about this a year before we got here. And so the reality of it is here we are. And so to the, you know, incredible reporting by MK, the reality for the country right now is, okay, if this is the idea to create a unitary executive, which is the power center of all of this.
Let's see what Glenn Beck has to say here.
Said that if a province and the people of a province hold a province-wide referendum, a vote, and the vote is to leave Canada and become their own nation, that they can do so. Canada is unique in the world in that we're the only democracy where the government, the Constitution, the courts have laid out a legal process for a region, a state, or a province to secede and become their own independent nation. And one of the critical steps in that process is international recognition. So my understanding from where our Supreme Court, I think the Trump administration also recognizes you guys have right above your border in Montana the third largest reserve of oil and gas in the world. Look at the power of that, the energy independence. It takes you from an energy superpower to a mega superpower. So, and then we're completely culturally aligned. So I think there's a recognition. And Canada's, the leftists in Ottawa are being global disruptors. They're not helping. They're helping build these governments with this anti-freedom, anti-Christian phenomena that we're seeing. It's hard to believe it's happening, but it is. So it's an encouraging fact that these discussions are occurring.
Keep on going here. What do we got? Notifications.
Got a dog? Uh-oh. It's Hillary. something you shouldn't have. What was that? Is that a dog? Uh-oh. It's Hillary.
What else we got? See what else we got on top here. Huge companies leaving to the U.S. on a daily basis. Highest recorded out migration since 1967. Support for Alberta independence growing to 60% plus. And this, she's an idiot. Just a plain idiot. Melanie Jolie. Yeah. Companies are flocking. They want to come to Canada with business. Yeah. What does he have to
People
say?
with organized crime links from Punjab. Number of gangland people, number of people with organized crime links from Punjab have been made welcome in Canada. We have been telling Canada, saying, look, these are wanted criminals from India. You have given them visas. They have come, many of them, in false documentation. And yet you allow them to live there. If you decide to import for political purposes people with very dubious, actually very negative background, there will be issues. They have, in some cases, created problems in their own country. Number of
So average Canadians' largest expense is tax. The average Canadian pays close to 50% of their income in tax, more than food and shelter combined. So when the government says Trump is the biggest threat to our economy, they're full of shit. We're being bled dry by our own governments. Exactly. Let's see now. Oh, I know what I wanted to share something else here. So I'm going to get rid of that. And I got to go over here. I got to go over here. And I have to... where is that? How come I don't have that? Show more. These are all the ones I subscribe to watch. And there's a new one here. And Randall Carlson is great. Boy, you guys want some science. He explains a lot of stuff on the Earth, the weather, all that kind of stuff. Let's see now. Where is... how come I can't find him? Just subscribed to him the other night there. The reporter, Cletus, Jay Leger, Trippy Farmer. Why can I not find? I got way too many here that I subscribe to watch. Oh, there we go. Christmas list. There we go. Yeah, he went into London. How drug infested it is. London, Barrie. Yeah. So
what London looks like as we walk and talk, and over the coming years, let's see if there's any sort of solution.
Let's see now. Now this girl. Let's see now. She's hiring a kite.
I don't know. How do you fund your addiction?
Sometimes I sell myself. Other times I have people that help me out.
Yeah. And what kind of money are you spending on a day like today? What is it going to cost you just to get through the day?
Sometimes $50, sometimes $100. It depends on how bad my day's been.
Right. So if you had $100 on you, what percentage goes to drugs versus something like food?
So $50 would go to drugs and 50 would go to food.
Okay. Well, I don't want to interrupt you. I want to get that bee out of there.
Yeah, especially because I'm allergic to them.
No, we don't want anything to happen.
I've been lucky. I have not gotten stung in
She's
almost
living
2
on the
years.
street.
Yes.
So I've been doing good.
Yes. Well, I don't want to interrupt your
Very
meal.
sad.
Enjoy.
But in half.
Oh, cut them in
And
half.
he went
Figuratively, right?
I
Like,
think-
do you have a solution? Where should they be?
I think that a lot of them need help with a lot of different issues,
So the
but a
girl
lot of them don't want the
over
help because
here
they are a lot of people
smoking
are offering help and they don't
something
want
or
to take
other.
it.
Right.
So I feel like
Yeah.
it's really up to them.
thinking
But I
what
don't
that
think that schools
There's two,
So
yeah,
went-
3 schools, right?
Beale, CCH, and Central, and we're
Here we
all
go.
right like in a straight line downtown.
And in Ontario, we're at 602 Queens Ave, and come on inside. And in this space, we have primary health care, so nurse practitioners, some nurses, different types of, foot care, different
They
types
try
of
to
cares
help
that
out
they can
the
get.
homeless.
Washing machines, dryers, showers.
Can't get any money from the federal government. Can't get any money from the provincial government. Yet
Anyone,
they-
not even on the street, but if you're low income, you don't have access to a
20
shower,
billion
you
to
can come to our
Ukraine.
space.
Yeah.
We're the only
That was
space that
really
has
smart.
a bathtub for people who can bring a PSW, get
So,
extra care if they need it
anyhow,
when they're here. We have
anybody
Indigenous
wants to
cultural
watch
services. We have financial
Christmas list.
support.
Now, he does.
Within the space, so ODSP, OW, it's a very busy place. We help people get connected to finances. A lot of people don't realize they can access OW, ODSP, OAS. A lot of
Anyhow,
seniors
he,
are falling into
He
homelessness.
travels all over the world, so
another
I'm
building.
gonna shut this off for now. I think we got enough. I think it's depressing enough what's going on there. So I'm going to click out of that. I'm going to bring the guys up on 160, and I think they're probably all gone. I'm just going to VA3KBC. Any of you guys around? No, they're gone.
Yeah, VA3KBC Whiskey, United 3 Whiskey, back at you.
Oh, okay, Joe. Good. Yeah, I ran it for a bit there, but I think people, if they're interested, they can get X. It's just an app. It's free. I have the blue. I pay, so that allows me to have a save stuff and bookmark it, I should say, and that way I can bring it up later and stuff like that. So yeah, it's there's a lot of information there that you don't see on regular media, and there wasn't much stuff coming up on Europe. They've had a lot of protests in England and other parts of Europe, Ireland, Scotland, because of and Germany, because of all the Muslims coming in there and more or less taking over the country. So that's not reported in the news. So anyhow, anybody else on, Joe, or just you just listening?
Yeah, QJ was on, and KSV is he's in there. He's on the sideline. He's listening and doing a bunch of other stuff. And then I think Steve is in here, N2KEJ. But it was just me and QJ Bob for a little bit there. So, yep. So yeah, there'll be some drive-bys, I'm sure, maybe a little after 9 o'clock. Maybe we'll see Hal and Jim from Pittsburgh. Hopefully we'll see those guys. Yeah, now I'm logged on to X. It was kind of weirding me out, man, because the circle on your screen kept spinning, and I was trying to do things, and so I was getting confused what I was even looking at. But I was monitoring you on X. I just got there though, just as you called for me, so I didn't get to see much of it. Last I saw was a woman standing outside of a steel, like a green steel door, and it had a big glass window to it. So whatever that documentary had going on, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah. He Chris, he travels the world. He's from Toronto. He's Canadian. He travels the world, and he went to Barrie. That was the first. Carol watched it the other night there, so I started watching it with her, and it showed all the homeless and the drug users in Barrie, Ontario, which is north of Toronto, and then he went to London, and did the same there, and it's just you've probably heard the term zombies. Yeah. And it's all fentanyl. It's 90% fentanyl. And then there's carfentanil. That's even worse. So it's just really sad that these people, and it's a lot of it is no fault of their own. It's just something in life that went bad, and the government with their lockdowns that hurt a lot of business and a lot of people right there. So, but they said over the last 10 years, when Trudeau came into power, he he legalized marijuana, and that was the stepping stone. BC, they have places where you can go get your hard drugs by the government. They have dispensers in there for your drugs and that. So it's a domino effect. So anyhow, I'm going to I had Chinese this afternoon, so I was drinking a lot of water tonight, and I have to go around the corner, mark my territory. So I'll just unkey here, and Joe, if the other guys come back, I'm still live streaming too, if you're wondering. So anyhow, I'll be back in a minute. VA3KBC.
Yep. VA3KBC. So I can get my voice to. Yep. Good stuff, man. I'm still monitoring. I see your live feed, and so we'll be here when you get back. VA3KBC, Whiskey United 3 Whiskey, standing by.
VA3KBC, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here looking at the. This is Whiskey United 3 Whiskey, and I want to say the most dangerous city in America, Baltimore, but it's not. And we're north of that crap hole, probably about 40 miles. And I'm sitting here looking at the sunspot cycle. So last month we hit an average of 129.8. This is a good cycle. This cycle is definitely stronger than the last one, but we're on the downslide. So we're off the peak. We're onto the shoulders, and but it's still looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I gotta take the monitor off here.
Click that off. Yeah, I'm hoping that the wintertime the bands will straighten out, and 40 meters through the afternoon, through the day would be great. I'll probably do a lot more 17 meters then as well. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. The sun really dictates our lives here on Earth, I'll tell you.
Yep, sure does, doesn't it? So we were talking about that fentanyl and carfentanil issue. I guess it's been about almost 2 months. They had this crazy scare in Baltimore, one of the more notorious areas, and it's down by the prison. It's by the overpass of 83 that dead ends right into Center City, Baltimore. And in that general area is there's a big food kitchen, And it's just where all the homeless are, all the folks that are, have addiction issues and psychological issues. But I think it's more drug addiction. So what happens is, rather than treat these people, and I don't know if they're treatable or not, honestly, this problem's gone on for so long. But what happens is around 7, 8 o'clock, the drug dealers come out with all their medication and they distribute it to everybody that needs. Well, they juiced it up, and they had, I think it was in the area of about 40, 45 people that all just fell out. And so authorities and stuff saw everybody just falling to the ground. And in the course of like an hour's time, they had all these medic units out there. They thought all these people had died. Well, they brought almost all of them back on, with Narcan. And even like folks that are driving back and forth to work, apparently because they see it so often, they have Narcan in their vehicles. I have Narcan in my vehicle too. And they would stop and help. They interviewed this one woman. She was like, I gave him Narcan. I brought him back. He was just about dead. He didn't say anything. He barely looked at me, stood up, and just simply walked away. And but if you can imagine, I mean, that's the level of addiction that we've got going on down there. And it's just accepted. If the drug dealers and the police know all about it, right? So, but they let it happen, and they do it intentionally. Because if they weren't there, they'd be in the emergency rooms where people are sick, and so it's just a mess.
Yeah, when Chris was in London, he was talking to some of the people on the street there, and they were saying like they're openly doing all these drugs. I don't know what the heck, those bongs or something, smoking those bongs. It's just like that young girl was there when they were sitting there. He was talking to the two girls there. The one girl on the right of the screen had this bong, and they say that, yeah, they're openly smoking, and the police, if they're walking down the sidewalk, they'll go across the street and walk down the other sidewalk so they don't walk into them, confront them, because there's no hope for them. So the police don't want anything to do with them, and they just let it happen. So it's frustrating. A lot of them have mental issues, and the only relief they get is through the drugs. So it puts them out for a while. And but when the government, with all the money that Canada has spent, this cricket factory in London, I think they got $8 million from the government, and it went bankrupt. I think they owe $45 million to the creditors, but $8 million of Canadian taxpayer money went to them, and it's gone. These battery plants that they started to build never completed. They're gone. That's billions of dollars, and yet here these people are Canadian citizens that like the woman that runs that one shelter there can't get any funds from the federal or provincial government. That's what's the maddening part. They have so many buildings that are empty now that could be refurbished and made into areas for these people, and it's just aggravating and sad that in a country that is we could be very rich with all the things that Canada has going for it as far as natural resources, the oil sands, all the minerals, everything. We could be the Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar of the Western world. And yet, we're in this situation where I think it's $1.5 trillion Canada is going to be in debt. And the population of Canada is about the same as California. And yet we're in deeper debt. So it just blows my mind what's happening in this country. And we have these elbows up idiots. I seen one today in Walmart. He had the shirt elbows up. What an idiot. With what Carney has done here to Canada. We thought Trudeau's bad. Carney is, he's 10 times worse. So we'll see what happens. Nothing stays the same, that's for sure. And you can never, ever, ever guesstimate what will happen down the road when it comes to politics or anything like that. So anyhow, back to you, Joe.
Yeah, well, Victor VA3KBC, top of the hour. This is Whiskey United 3 Whiskey out of Baltimore. Most of these politicians aren't very smart. They're not necessarily intellectual people. That's why I like a good businessman,
100%.
At least they're smart enough to be able to run a business, that sort of thing. But you see some of these political leeches that have gotten in there and found a way to get a good treasury and schmooze their way into, some of these local positions. I think are really a big part of the problem. But I don't know. I think we need to bring back the insane asylums. Not that they would be treating just the mentally ill, but that would be the place where you could house a lot of the folks that are just super addicted to this stuff. And, they can even work because they can be productive on that medication, but, you ultimately want to get them off the medication so they're not dependent. I don't like being dependent on anything. Even cigarettes used to really, because I smoked years and years ago, and just having to have a pack of cigarettes, having to have a pack of matches or a lighter, just it finally torqued me off enough, and I finally quit.
Yeah, Dad smoked. He was a heavy smoker, and he died from a massive stroke. So, but anyhow, yeah, it's the and the thing was with that woman that had that home there as well. She was saying that a lot of these places, if they're not properly controlled, there could be a lot of harmful people in there, and a lot of times it's the women that get assaulted by some psycho man, that's strung out or has got some mental issues. So they need to be dorms for women and for men, not co-ed type things. So, but I don't know. We'll see what happens down the future. It's this country is really struggling, and it's just getting deeper in debt. And I don't know. What can we do? My personal opinion, I think the only way anything will ever happen here, because of the cartels, the Chinese triads, Mexican cartels, the Indian Punjabs, the Iranians, they're running things. And when you have the CBS top officials of the CBSA and the RCMP corrupted, the top liberal government officials corrupted, they're not going to do anything. So I think the only way anything can get cleaned up here is if we get annexed and become a territory, and then get things cleaned up. So it would be great. Economic-wise, it would be wonderful for Canadians. Have the same money and far, far lower taxes, and then have the protection of the United States, because our military has been depleted, and our F-18s, CF-18s are pretty long in the tooth. We're supposed to get the F-35, but they canceled it, or I don't know. We should have had it by now, but Trudeau canceled it, and so now we're struggling to get something. And of course, the cost is going to be how many times more expensive than the original. So, yeah, and we're a small country. We are in population, we're a small country. We're a huge country physical-wise, but when it comes to the population, 40 million, I guess, now is what we have. But how many of those are productive citizens working and paying taxes? Not that many. So yeah, and then Carney says, oh, we'll be our best clients, we'll be our best customers, which is ridiculous. We need you guys, 340 million people that will purchase stuff. So I don't know. Anyhow, enough of that bullshit. Like I said, the people here in Canada that did this elbows up thing are a bunch of idiots. So that's I'll leave it at that there, Joe. So WU3W VA3KBC. Anybody else out there?
anything on this end. Yeah. Well, wait a minute. What is that elbows up thing? I don't get it. Does that have something to do with how they're kind of like laid over, drugged out?
No, it's a hockey term. Apparently, years ago, Bobby Hull, he would go into the corner against another player and put his elbows up and hit him in the head or something and take the player out. Well, that was an illegal play that you get in the penalty box for that. So that's where the elbow's up. So that's what Carney and Canadians say. Oh, our elbows up against Trump. Our elbows up against Trump, which is really, they were putting their elbows up. They looked like they're doing the chicken dance. It was a stupid thing to be doing. Putting their elbows up and saying, elbows up against Trump, and we'll put him in his place, and he's not going to push us around. Well, if you really look at it, Joe, the elbows up, going into the corner, hitting another hockey player with your elbow up and hitting him in the head, you can break somebody's neck. So you get a penalty. Well, this is what's happened to Canada. Elbows up, we're going to take on Trump. Well, you assholes, idiots are in the penalty box now with all these tariffs coming at you. A lot of good that did. So that's where the elbows up bullshit came from.
Okay, yeah, I think you explained it to me once before. Well, they, if for some reason it ever became a possibility, and he was talking about it before when Trudeau was in, he'd make him a mayor, or a governor or something like that. I don't think he would let that level of opposition in Canada bother him. He's so tempered by the United States media, the legacy media, and the left here that I don't think it would phase him one bit.
You mean Trump?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, well, everything that they've thrown at him, nothing is stuck. He's like you said, he's very well tempered. He does have quite a sense of humor, and anybody that didn't care for him and then ended up having to be in the room with him and work with him, and that they come away with a different opinion. Joe Rogan was one. I can't think of the other guys. Bill Maher, another one who hated Trump. His attitude, he had to be very careful what he was saying there, because I'm not a fan, but he did see a different side of him. The other guy, I can't think of the other guy's name. There's quite a few that had that opinion. Same with J.D. Vance. Like J.D. Vance said, he was swayed by the media and what they said. And then like a lot of people, when they heard that he was going to pick J.D. Vance to be his running mate for vice president, they didn't like that because of what J.D. Vance had originally said about him. But like J.D. said, he was swayed by what the media had said. So once you got to know him, the family has done a lot of good, but the media, for whatever reason, if he was a Democrat, man, oh man, like the media would just be falling over themselves to praise. But because he decided to run as a Republican, that's when the Vipers, that's all they are, is Vipers. They turned on him. So anyhow, yeah, we'll see what happens here. On X again, there's so much stuff always going on there. I might do another one. I'll see what tomorrow afternoon's like. I'll maybe do a live stream and do it with X, because there's a lot of young people, especially blacks, that have been coming on there and talking about, you know what? I think I saved that one. I'm going to bring that one up, Joe. And I saved that in my bookmarks. I got to find that. And come on, bookmarks. And, wait a minute, bookmarks. Get out of there, bookmarks. Yeah, jeepers, if I can find it. I have so much doggone stuff here that I forget where I put it. Let me find it here. See if anybody else joins us here there, Joe.
Yep. All right, we'll do. go ahead and I'll tell you what, real quick. I do the same thing. I've got databases so full, which means I'm really careful on how I label it before I put it away. And it's weird because I got to put myself in a different frame of mind and say, okay, what am I gonna be thinking of when I do a search? And so I rely heavily on file search rather than just looking through pages and pages of stuff, So I try to name it a certain way, before I release it into storage. But that's about 10 after. This is Whiskey United 3 Whiskey, the new and improved Munich 1900 group. Anybody on board? Anybody listening?
Boy, we got it all to ourselves.
Okay, yeah, nothing heard. And I reduced power there. I'm down to about, let's see, about 400 watts output now. I just backed off on the transceiver a little bit there and give it a break, If nobody else is out there, then what the heck?
Yeah, you're still 5 over.
Yeah, let me see here, because I've got your receiver up right now. Okay, it should go in a little bit. As long as you can hear me all right.
Oh, heck, I can hear you, no problem.
Yeah, it'll get better. I got to get out there. I got to change the lanyards. And I might even do the box. And I might even switch the antenna altogether and repolarize it. So it runs north and south, but it runs against the grain. So I think I'm going to swing it around and see what that might do.
Okay, I found it. I'm going to put. Let me mute you here.
Man, I'm starting to realize at the big age of 40, I just may be conservative. Hear me out. So after hearing all the hate and all the negativity from this Charlie Kirk death coming from the liberal side, man, that just doesn't align with my belief system. It just don't. I cannot put myself in the category of people that have that much hate in their heart. Like, it's absolutely insane. And man, just like a lot of black people, we grew up voting straight Democrat because that's what our parents told us to do. That's what somebody else told us to do. But as I'm older now and I read the Bible for myself and I'm listening to both sides, I'm like, man, I cannot align myself or call myself a liberal or be on the left side of things when everything that I read from the Bible is showing me to be more conservative. Like, as a believer in Christ, we are supposed to follow Jesus. I mean, Jesus would not be a liberal. I'm sorry, he just won't. And I'm sorry if this offends anybody. Hey man, that's on you. Read the Bible, man. Like, what side really aligns with conservative or liberal? Like, what side? I don't know, man. It's a lot of division going on right now. It's a lot of hate. I'm not for it, man. I'm not for politics at all, but dang, it's just sad to see all what's going on in the day. But y'all be blessed, man. Remember, love first, put Jesus first. Read the Bible, man. See what the Bible says about things before you make a decision about anything or claiming a side. So, y'all have a good one. Be blessed.
Okay, take that down, go back up here. Okay, I'm back.
Yep. Yeah, that has been going on and on and on. And, hang on one sec, I just got to turn this down. Yeah, and at first I was a little skeptical because, yeah, more and more you're seeing more black people responding to the Republican Party. And I used to be a Democrat too, my whole family was. In fact, I was an elected official here. My uncle and had big campaigns and stuff like that. That was back in the day, man. That was through the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, and it all started to change through the mid 70s. And finally, I switched, and And but I've seen a lot of that very same video, not him in particular, but there's a lot of others, and many that I follow. And at first I was rather skeptical, thinking, look, they're just playing on the numbers. They're just, YouTubing and getting that rather curious, maybe sympathetic interest. But it seems, the more and more time goes on, the more and more I realize that a lot of that is very, how do I want to say this? Very genuine and very native and very just autonomous, and it's happening. So I'd love to see some real numbers, on how many what the shift has been from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. And I heard it was almost 2 million, but I just think it's way more than that. And I don't know where that number came from and what timeline it was bracketed in. It may have been associated with like recent surges of Trump popularity, but for the longest time, and me and my sister get into heated arguments with this stuff. She's the last. Actually, she's still Democrat. She's the last one to go. And I just one of the messages I give her is that the Democrats they're always ripping the morality out of society. It's just no matter what they do, it just always seems to go right there. And now it's really starting to rear its ugly head. Look, New York's getting ready to elect that commie Zindami or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
and I think it needs to happen. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I want it to happen. I think it just needs to happen. People need to see it. They need to feel it. They need to see it. And because a lot of people are just they're just running their life. They're just doing everything that they can to keep going, and they're too busy in many cases, and they need to see and feel it on a hard level, and then maybe they'll get it. So back to you, DJ Victor Alpha 3 KBC. This is Whiskey United 3 Whiskey in Baltimore.
WU3W VA3KBC. 100%. Yeah, they need to feel the pain. Oh my goodness. There's again on X, there's a lot of individuals that go, and reporting on stuff, and this one guy was interviewing people in New York. Are you going to vote for Mondami? Oh yeah, and this was a white girl, and they just don't understand. They think that all these policies are going to help them out, but those are communist policies, and that has never worked in any country. So yeah, they have to learn the hard way. So we'll see what happens there, but I think the one guy that was running, he pulled out. He was a black man. He pulled out, and he said you just can't run up against that. So, oh well, we'll see what happens there. We went to New York when our friend was alive. We used to go visit them, and we're on. I forget that name of that street, but we're the big split there, and they have the big screen up there. Whatever the heck that's called. I forget what it's called now. But yeah, Carol, she was just in awe. I had to keep grabbing her arm and come on, let's go. She would have been lost there. So we got to see the Trump Tower and just a lot of places. We took a ferry down to Ellis Island. We never got off the ferry because we didn't have the time. Luther and Michelle were staying at the marina there, at the dock there where the ferries go back and forth, waiting for us, so we didn't want to spend a lot of time on. And then besides, at that time, you couldn't go into the Statue of Liberty. They had it closed off, so didn't see any sense of getting off the boat. But it was a nice thing to go through. We went to that restaurant there that they do where Harry Met Sally. That's the restaurant we went to and had their pastrami on rye. It's on the tip of my. You'll probably know which one I'm talking about. So we went there and had something to eat as well. So yeah, it was a good time. But I guess things are a little bit different there now. I don't know if I'd want to be walking around the streets of New York now. There, over.
Yep, Times Square. I think you're thinking Times Square. Not the restaurant, but the location there. Yeah. You get the two roads that come together into one, and you get the iconically V-shaped area there where all the neon billboards and everything is. I've never been there. Seen enough of it on television, and I'm probably never going to go.
Well, we the number of times we went to Woodburn, New York to see Luther and Michelle. Carol always wanted to go to New York, and Luther said, "I ain't taking you there. I don't want to go anywhere near that city." And because he used to do a lot, he did a lot. He was a sheriff of the town. He flew jets in Vietnam. He owned 3 Burger Kings. He actually was the concierge for the theater there. So he's got pictures of Billy Ray Cyrus, Donna Summers, Willie Nelson. He said Billy Ray Cyrus would come to my place, and the couch you're sitting on, he'd crash there and sleep there because he just had to get away, you know. And just the stories that he told, you know, and then found out that he spent 7 years in Malta as a CIA agent. So. Yeah, a lot of stories. He couldn't tell me everything. He says, I could tell you more, but then I'd have to kill you. And I said, no, Luther, that's good enough. I don't need to know anything more. But just a wonderful guy, and sadly he died of a stroke. So, yeah, and I've got pictures of him on my QRZ page on the link there on the year in farming. If you click on that, then you'll see pictures when we went to Woodburn, New York, and we rode our Goldwing around through the Catskills and that. But anyhow, and I didn't take any pictures when we were in New York City. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know why. I guess we just didn't bother. So, but anyhow, yeah, it was a once in a lifetime experience. We were going to come back. He wanted to have us over for Christmas and then go to see the one theater there where they have those dancing girls or whatever. They have a Christmas thing on. He was going to get tickets in that, but I said, that time of year, because we'd gone there in winter before, and in the highway, I'm glad we had 4-wheel drive pickup at that time, was kind of sketchy. So we thought, we can't promise anything and have those expensive tickets and us not being able to drive there, because it was 305 miles to go there to Woodburn, New York. So we decided not to. But anyhow, that's all in the past now. WU3W VA3KBC.
Yep, roger that. That's quite a story. I'm rolling through the pictures right now. I'm looking at the tower work that you did there, and that's nice work, man. I don't know if I saw the Goldwing. I think I saw a picture of it at one point. But your QRZ page is huge, man. There's a lot to it. There it is. Yeah, big. Look at that. Goodness gracious, man. That is a big motorbike. I'm sure that's shaft driven. And is that him? Is it? Yeah, is that him, Brule? Brian Schul, excuse me.
That is Brian Schul, yep.
Okay, yeah. Oh, it's actually a link to the YouTube video. I'll have to check that out a little bit later. Yeah, you got a very nice page here. I just put a bunch of pictures, and I didn't spend much time. But I should put those pictures of that tower I had. I know you and I were talking about that the other day. And it was all spare parts. It was all just junk laying around. And it worked. It did pretty good. I had to cut it down to bring it here. And I remember we were raising it up. It was this is about the second time. The first time we got it up in the air and we brought it down. We started pulling on it to get it up again. And the base underground started to twist. And it wasn't far underground. It was just about 6 to 8 inches, but it just started to bend at that point. And we got it up to this one point, and it just it just started coming down, and it made a right-hand turn and came to the ground. So I was able to take the upper section off and then straighten it out a little bit. I called a welder up, and I went around and collected all the metal that I could, and I just had a pile of it. I said, here, just weld all this shit on there and just strengthen it up as much as you possibly can. And the problem was, and I just eyeballed it when I put it down in the ground, but so I had a hinge on the tower, and it broke on the two legs, and that's where I put the hinge. But I wasn't perfectly lined up, for the to pull it up in the air. So I had to block and tackle up in the tree. It's a big oak tree. I had to block and tackle up there. Well, that was off center just enough. So so it's trying to pull it up, but it's also trying to pull it to the side. And so I just had to fortify that bottom. But boy, what a mess! I had to cut all that off later to move. So we dug back down into the ground, and with a chop saw, just cut away at it and cut and cut and cut. It took about 2 hours just cutting all that stuff off. And then we covered it up with dirt. So when we sold the house, we had a nice piece of land there that nobody knew anything. Hopefully, I won't try to put a pool in or anything.
Yeah, I'm laughing here. Why can't I dig down deeper here, hon? I don't know, dear. You got something there. So.
Oh, they'll be so pissed by the time they figure out what it is and what they need to dig it out of the ground. There's probably about 3,000 to 4,000 pounds of concrete down in the bottom, and then I set that. There's an 8-foot section of the steel squares on the tower sections where they come together were 4-inch by 4-inch, and there were 3 pads. And just give you an idea of just how big and sturdy that was. And I know they weighed about 260, 270 pounds a piece. And then, like I said, I just poured about 3,000 pounds of concrete down the ground, set that sucker in there the best I could, and that was it, man. So if they ever, did have to excavate the entire thing, and then, I think a backhoe would probably, I don't know if a backhoe wouldn't pull it up. They'd probably need like a small crane or get down in there and jackhammer that concrete apart. So hopefully they'll never put a pool in or something like that. All right, DJ, I'm going to clear out, man. We're down in half. And I got to get up early again tomorrow. Big day. It's Friday. And I got to work. Got to do my regular stuff with Verizon. And then I've got some data analysis to do. And that's what I'm doing today. Just drains me, man. Just all day. I get lost in all that stuff. So, all right, man. We're going to clear out. We're going to go. We're going to go for the night, but it's good hearing you in here again. And I'm surprised we didn't hear some of the other fellows. Hal didn't come in, Steve didn't come back, QJ went to sleep. So but we'll do it again tomorrow. All right, there, DJ. I'll let you tie the ribbon on the VA3KBC. This is Whiskey United 3 Whiskey, the Baltimore, Maryland, and we're going to stay 73 for the evening. Over to you, DJ.
Yeah, I forgot to mention one thing, though. I got off onto the X there. I got an email from Yaesu today, and so the rotor repair was $80, and whatever the shipping is going to be back to Canada here, which will probably be about $100. But I said, well, what about the other rotor? Oh, that's under warranty. And I thought, oh, okay, thank you. That's the one that had the water damage, which was new, and the other one was from lightning. So it was that unit that sends the signal back down to the control box for the degrees, whatever way the tower or the beam is pointing. That wasn't working. So that was, I think it's about a $30 part or something. So it was easy to fix. So yeah, so Scott's going to buy the rotor and the new rotor and then the control box. I'll give him a deal on that. And then the other one, it's 3 years old, but it's fixed up now. I'll sell that and recoup some of my $2,200 back, because that's what the new rotor and control box cost me Canadian. So I'll recoup some of that back. Anyhow, my friend, you take care. Have a good work day tomorrow, and yeah, we'll see what tomorrow night brings. Anyhow, that's it. I'm gonna check up the band here as well and see what the guys are doing, and that. So WU3W Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Bravo Charlie 73.
Yep, 73.
Minimum. Excuse me. Minimum 308, but I had to pay $100 extra for the inspection. Inspection for an electric meter box that you did yourself.
You know, maybe I should have considered the codes before I put the solar in here.
Well, don't get me wrong. I mean, everything passed a rough inspection, so and the final's not going to be bad at all. It's once we get once everything's in, the plumbing and all that's in and working, the shower stall goes in tomorrow, solid, and then I have to drywall. Well, after I drywall, I can't tape it or finish it or anything until they inspect that.
VA3KBC.
Evening, DJ.
Evening, guys. I'm live streaming right now, too. So I was down on 1895 talking with Joe there. And so I've been live streaming about an hour. And I thought I'd come here to say hi-ho to you guys. So it's a live stream on YouTube.
What are you streaming live?
I'm streaming us right now. So whatever you say goes across YouTube.
Oh, my God. We're being incorporated.
What?
There goes the neighborhood. Yeah, we're famous, Jeffrey.
Why are we famous?
We're all over YouTube. We've got 7 million viewers right now. What do you mean?
Actually, there's only one viewer.
TV on.
There's only one viewer.
Why are we all over YouTube?
Because Steve has us hooked up.
I'm live streaming right now.
I made him our official web designer and media alliance expert.
It's illegal to rebroadcast amateur radio stations.
He's not broadcasting.
He's rebroadcasting.
That's not broadcasting.
He's in Canada, right?
Well, yeah, it's a foreign country for number one. They have different rules. Number two, broadcasting in the rules, you got to go through the rules, Jeffrey. There's a loophole there.
I didn't say broadcasting. I said rebroadcasting.
Well, first of all, you have to be broadcasting, which you're not. And then you'd have to redo it.
And play it again on something else. That's rebroadcasting. That is illegal in amateur radio.
Oh, my God, we're all going to jail.
He's a Canadian. Settle down.
I'll see you in the cell beside me, Jeff. I'll teach you how to make them little things out of your socks. Your strings you pull out of your socks. You can make little jewelry out of them.
Kilowatt Charlie 3, Oscar, November Oscar.
Evening, Kevin.
Good evening, Kevin. Oh, the chipper guy.
Yeah.
Hey, what up, Kevin?
Good evening.
Did you get more mulch?
Oh, did I get more mulch, Gary?
You didn't see the pile of that picture he sent you?
Oh, I didn't get no picture. I'm not on the group text.
Well, Gary, maybe someday you'd want to join the group and be somebody. How many yards was that, Kevin?
I don't know. He said something about 10 tons. It's 12 to 15 tons. 1,000 pounds. So what's that? Half ton. So 7 to 10 tons.
So after it's all spent here in the spring, you got to be selling mulch?
Yeah, well, you want to buy some compost?
Right away. There's dollars attached.
Well, I'm going to go, Mark. Maybe catch you tomorrow on 7230.
All right, I'll give you a call then if I'm in the Mobile, DJ. Thanks. Have a good evening.
Okay, 7-3, guys. VA3KBC QSY.
Good night, DJ. Take care.
DJ. Good night, DJ. Catch you later.
Roger, roger.
Yeah, I don't think the tree guy was explaining quite as many. Yeah, I didn't think he was. I didn't claim industries when I was there. It's doing any better than that. They're going to be damn my buddy. He said, see what he thinks. And
he gave him the measurements and everything. He said, "No," he says, "There's no way." So as it is, I mean, they're not making that much on this job.
VA3KBC. Good evening, guys.
Hey, good evening, DJ.
Yeah.
Evening, Dawn.
Yeah, I'm live streaming on YouTube, guys. So just an FYI.
What was that?
I said I'm live streaming on YouTube right now.
Oh, are you?
So you can bring it up and you can hear what you sound like and see your signal. And yeah, there you go.
Oh, you're into all that stuff. I wouldn't know how to do that. No way in hell.
That's a OBS program you download.
Yeah. I remember, oh gosh, it's been years, several, that you were on there. Yeah, I remember you saying about it there that one time. Yeah, I remember that, yep.
Yeah, but didn't we years ago, before YouTube, didn't we have that program that was free that we were all on streaming? And then they changed it so you had to pay for that service, so then we all quit.
Yeah. Skype, I think. Was it Skype? We were definitely on there and had cameras and all that stuff, yep. Yeah, I think it was called Skype. Yeah, I'm looking at you now, Don.
Yeah, I got with the new computer and a better video card, I can stream now, no problem. I was having a little issue with the other computer because this video card wasn't that good, and with the fiber optics, like I have high speed here, so about 800 down and about 300 up, so definitely no issue live streaming.
Yeah, I see you fine there. Yep. Actually, I can see my estimator on the top right, I think. No. Yeah, I see. You got a red shirt on, don't you?
Yep, you can see your signal. You're 20 over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Pretty. Oh, I see it there. Yep. No. Yep. You got it all, Don. What? Is that a Howell mic?
The RE27.
How do I find you? Do I have to go on your website?
You can go from my website or just go to direct to YouTube, Tom, and in the search bar, put in my call sign, VA3KBC.
That's what I did. I went to YouTube.com, boom, and then I went VA3KBC, and then it came up live, and I clicked, and look at the mug on that dude, man. Unbelievable. Look, he's scratching his eyes. I see it. I got you. I got you, buddy. Holy shit, that's a big TV screen behind you.
Well, the TV screen is 32-inch, and then I've got two monitors on either side, too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, though. Yeah. Wow. I'm trying to see my signal. Where's it at? Wow. 20 over. AB3 or AB3KW. Why is it? Why am I? Okay, it was buffering. I don't know why it was buffering. It's the internet connection, but yeah. Look at Don, man. He's a handsome fella there with the beard going on, man. Check him out. That wasn't there the last time I saw him. Yeah, that white stuff on his face and his mustache and his head.
Yeah, getting grayer and grayer.
Yeah, gray, white, whatever. He looks like a radio talk show host, man. Like he's look at the headphones and. Oh yeah, Yeah, he got all that stuff.
That guy's badass right there.
Well, the headphone, if I have the speaker on, then it feeds back to the microphone, so I have to have the speaker off and put the headphones on. That way it doesn't interfere, don't get the feedback.
Roger.
And same with over here, I have the monitor off because I've got it on the other screen here.
Alrighty then.
What's that backdrop behind you?
That's one of Carol's quilting blankets that she had some material left over. So there was a cabinet back there, and it just didn't, I don't know, I didn't like the looks of it. So I thought I'd put this up for a backdrop.
Oh, yeah, nice. No, you're in some kind of a real, like a ham radio chair. Can you elaborate on that high back?
Oh, it's one of those gaming chairs.
You like it?
It's just a cheapy one I bought from, what the heck is that store? I can't remember the store in Sarnia. It's okay, but yeah, it's nothing fancy.
What's the microphone you got there, Don?
This is the RE27ND.
Okay, who makes that?
Electro Voice.
Recognize it.
Oh.
No, it's an Electro Voice.
Electro Voice.
That's the same mic that they use in the studios. Rush Limbaugh, that's what he had, but his was gold. Mine's just silver.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's cool. Is that a splash piece you got there? A little round thing that you're talking into, is that the pickup or is that just a screen?
It's a screen, a pop screen, so that when you talk and say the letter P, you don't have that popping sound.
Okay, yeah, I see it now. Now that you hold it up there sideways, yeah, okay.
It's a COVID catcher.
Yeah.
Well, it saves me from having to wear 3 masks.
There you go.
Cool, man. See you right there. Check them out, man. That's cool.
I'm not running the amp. I just got the radio going.
Well, the conditions are pretty good then.
I guess I'm gonna have to get on there and get myself streaming too.
30 over there.
Yeah, pretty cool, buddy. Pretty cool. That looks good. I mean, you got a camera right on the face of that radio, or what?
No, it's well. Remember those cameras, the Logic cameras we bought for to do the streaming there 10 years ago? Well, more than 10 years. It's probably 13, 14 years ago. Well, it's the same camera. It was just $30 camera from Amazon.
Yeah, but you got it pointed right close. Is it close? How close is it to the radio to get that big feedback off it? Picture off it.
Well, the radio's off to the left. Well, if you look at my QRZ page, and look at the picture there of the station, you'll see. Okay, so bring up my QRZ page and scroll down. You'll see the screenshot or the picture of the shack, and you'll see the 3 monitors there. The middle monitor is the TV 32-inch, and just right below it, you can maybe make out the camera. You'll see the Palstar HF tuner, the yellow window there, and then the speaker, the 2 speakers on either side, and just above the speaker, you can see, you just kind of make out the camera there.
I'm not going to go through all that. I just wanted to know, is it like 2 feet or 3 feet or whatever away from the radio?
Well, the radio's got nothing to do with it. It's so it's arm's length away. Arm's length away from me.
So then what? How are you picking up the graph? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, that's the software program, the OBS. That's what you use to stream. So I have a FIFIN device. What do you call it now for streaming, and the audio as well. Oh, I interface. There we go. I've got a Behringer interface and the FIFA interface for OBS audio. So the picture, so it's the OBS program, and then you have to set up a source, video capture, then the video screen, the Thetis program that's on the screen here, and that kind of stuff. So it's all got to do with the programming.
Okay. Well, you wasn't understanding me at first, but I'm starting to figure it out now. So, okay. The camera itself is only picking you up. So the background, all that other stuff we're seeing is all done with some other stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Talking about the OBS or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's a source. With the OBS, you put in a source, which is so the video capture device is my camera, so I can go and I'll go over. Where's the mouse? Okay, so I go to the video capture device where the sources are, and I click on that, and I take myself off. Click back on, I bring it back up. I click that off, I take the Thetis off. So yeah, there's a lot of setup to it to initiate it. The video capture, the websites. If you want to go to a stream or to the different windows, and then the audio, and then you got to have the interface. There's a lot to it, but it can easily be done if you know what you're doing. And I had help with Doug KB2 UKA because he does a lot of video streaming. And then I watched some YouTube things on how to set stuff up as well. So that all came into effect, and so that's what you got to do to get on YouTube or Rumble, or I think he's even been doing some TikTok too.
Christ, I can't even keep my YouTube TV going, let alone doing something like that. Never mind.
That's really cool. Yep, I admire you for doing that, DJ. I mean, that's quite a lot of time, patience, and wow, yeah, pretty impressive.
Yeah, the program's free, so it just it's like anything, guys. The more you do it and understand it, the easier it is. So when I had the lightning strike there back in May, I was off the air for a while, and I hadn't done any streaming for a while. So when I went to get everything fired up again, I couldn't get anything through the headphones. And I fiddled around, and I fiddled around, and I fiddled around. Finally, I gave Doug a call, and he says, "What's your audio settings on the screen there for the speakers?" And I brought it up on the screen, and it wasn't set to the FIFA, and I clicked on that, and then there it worked. And I thought, oh, for crying out loud, all this stuff I redid stuff on the OBS on my other screen there, the settings and that, and it was just a simple click of putting the right speaker in. So anyhow, that's the kind of stuff that can happen.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Wow. Yeah, enjoy watching it. Wow. Pretty cool.
So,
it's for an old guy to get all that figured out, I'll tell you.
Actually, it would take me I'd have to have a college professor here to teach me how to do all that shit.
Well, it's just, I wanted to learn it, so that's what I did. And then, like I said, fortunately, there's guys that on YouTube that show how to do some of that stuff. So that was a great help too.
Oh, I'm sure it was. A lot of information on YouTube.
So I was on 17 meters back in the springtime, and I talked to a guy that worked on the SR-71 avionics. And I was live streaming at that time. So it's if you go to my regular page or YouTube site, you'll see that link there of talking to the SR-71 guy. So it was a very interesting conversation I had with him. And then another guy joined us, and he'd mentioned that he heard that they drained all the oil out of those engines and ran them up and seized them up And the guy that worked on the SR-71s, he said, well, that was some of it, but they had other ways of doing it too. And I said, so in other words, those engines that'll never run again? He says, yep, they made them so they'd never operate again.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
So I was glad I was live streaming it at that time. So it was nice to have that record.
Oh my, yeah. I'm 20 over.
And I helped a couple of guys that had some terrible IMD, and they were just way too hot in their mic drive. So once they seen it and they could hear it, then they started backing off, doing this and doing that, and got everything set up right. So that's the other nice thing about doing a live stream for guys.
Oh yeah, it's just really cool to see that on the YouTube here. Pretty neat, man. Wow.
So then I was telling the guys, let me bring the screen, bring that down. Come on, and bring this. So I'm on X a lot, so I gotta get rid of myself here. Video capture there. So I'm on X a lot, watching stuff, because you don't get this stuff on regular news and that. So it's nice to have the X, which is Elon Musk had bought it. So there's Maya, Musk, Elon's mother. So yeah, there's just a ton of stuff. Quick Dick McDick, he is comical. I follow him and he follows me, and I have a lot of stuff on the bookmarks here, so I can show guys about a lot of the stuff. So yeah, if you're not on X, I can show you what everything is on here. And there's been a lot of stuff about the that one guy that had the Mexican sombrero on.
We're bringing the noise. Go baby, we bringing our toys. Separate men from the boys. Chopper be singing, should be on the void.
I'm watching you scrolling down here. Pretty neat. Oh, there's Trump dangling the pinata. Oh my, too funny.
And
yep, cool. W3KBC.
And Joe Rogan will follow him quite a bit.
Hey, V3KW.
Yeah, I'd be lost here trying to navigate all that, but it'd be fun to. I see Joe Rogan. It'd be fun to get the camera back up and working. I don't know how to do it all, so.
And here you go, shooting in Laval, Quebec at Starbucks in broad daylight. People were literally drinking and others ordering coffee. And boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I see it, yep. All common denominators. He's down here, Tom, right across the river from me. That kid, high school kid there, they were, I don't know, agents looking for him. And did you hear about it?
Yeah, they shot him.
Oh, he shot twice at them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know, yeah.
18 years old, had a pistol, 9mm, shot twice at running away, and he shot back at them 2 times, and they shot and killed him.
FDA just said today it was justified.
Yeah, that was in my county, or Beaver County.
Yep.
And the DA came out and said, yeah, they were justified. Well, of course. I mean, if you're 18-year-old kid shooting back at a federal agent, well, somebody's in trouble, right? Well, you know the deal. He was a good boy and all that.
Yeah. He was a good boy. He's 18 years old. Why was he walking around with a frickin' handgun in his pants?
and let alone shooting it.
Yeah.
Well, isn't the story that if you aim at somebody, you're going to shoot them? So you don't aim at people because that makes them think they're going to be shot. So, that's the stupidity there.
Oh, terrible. They just, and then the community uproars and.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about you, but if I ever shot at a police officer or a federal agent when I was younger, my dad would have beat my ass if I didn't die first.
Uh-huh.
Look at DJ, man. He's taking the headphones off. He's had enough. Look at the hairdo on that dude. He's going to sleep. His eyes are getting heavy.
I was up early this morning.
I see you, man. Nice glasses, too. What are they, like clear acrylic?
Yeah, they're just cheapy glasses I got for Amazon. They're, what are they, I forget what they are for. I just need them for reading up close here and everything. So, yeah, I think they're 2s. So that's what I have them for. I can, no, everything's blurry, so I have to have something so I can see stuff and then make it clear.
Oh, I gotta have them because I can't read shit up close since I had my cataracts replaced or removed.
Yeah, I just need them for reading.
Far away, I can't see up close.
Oh no, I need them for up close.
Yep.
Yeah, really cool looking at this. Really neat. And I think with that, I'm going to sign off, fellas.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
I think I'm going to go up and hit the sack. So look at DJ. He's yawning. And yeah, nice chatting with you two fellas. Anybody I missed, I'll listen out here, and thanks for the tip, DJ. I enjoyed watching you there, and a lot of fun. So it's W3ENM. I'll listen out here, and I'm going to go QRT.
Okay. Yep, 7-3, guys. Good talking with you again. It's nice on 160 tonight. Fairly quiet, not no static crashes, so it makes it enjoyable. Anyhow, 7-3, live long and prosper. I'm going to shut the stream off here, and yeah, check some of the other streams. Check the one that when I talked to the SR-71 pilot, that was an interesting one. So with that, I am shutting the stream off, and I'm going to go QRT and hit the rack. Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Bravo Charlie.
Okay, DJ, you have a good evening. Nice to hear you. Great stream you got going there. And Brad, we'll catch you tomorrow night. Oh, take care, buddy. VA3KBC. Good night.
Yep. Night, fellas. W3ENM Claire.
Hey, Mama said hello, and we're thinking about her.
Yep, well done.